the best gift in life is finding a beautiful problem that you can never solve. And even if you accidentally solve it, if you're so unfortunate to solve it, hopefully it has like plenty of enlightened problem children that you can then tackle, right? Like so finding one of those is good, and not having to like meander into some complete adjacency to support it is actually wonderful.
Yeah, I think there's also something about when you talk about this idea of focus. I think second acts are kind of a bit over-valorized in Silicon Valley somehow, where everyone talks about, we want to do like a new AWS is kind of the coolest thing ever, where you do a second thing that is completely unrelated to the first thing, versus NVIDIA is the largest company in the world, and they just started making GPUs in the 90s, and turns out a lot of people want GPUs. And I mean, they did obviously lots of incremental expansion from there, like calling them GPUs is doing a disservice, but it's in a very hill-climbing expansion way. Isn't there a bit of MBA-ism here too, where if one was trying to, when Shopify was 1,000 times smaller, raise money for Shopify, it would just sound ludicrous to say, we're just going to do e-commerce software, and it turns out that's a really big market, and here's our current projection, and here's when it's 1,000 times larger. It's like, get out of here, come on. Whereas if you say, we'll expand to do this, and we'll expand to do that, and we'll build a CRM or whatever, it's easier to justify, expanding into other TAMs.
Like I got rejected from plenty of VCs in 2008 when I went around, and some of them said they would invest, and then it was usually terrible terms with like ratchets or multiples. And I had to move the company to Silicon Valley, which again, I would have if I wouldn't have told me to do it. Like once you tell me to do something, I don't want it anymore. But anyway, so and I caught up with many of the partners later. In one case, we had a really interesting conversation. It's just like he asked me what did we miss back then, and I just like, well, the reason why you didn't invest is like you said, there's 40,000 online stores in the world right now in 2008, and well, you can get half of them, but that's not actually that big of a business. What we miss is like, well, Shopify itself was the solution to that problem. Like the reason why no one was building online stores is because the friction was so high. It's like, and so it's a little bit of that, right? Like you gotta like, yes, it's not an interesting business plan. The pitch isn't very good, and specifically coming from me.
More.
Coming from me is probably especially bad. But like, it's also kind of, man, the best products in the world come from people just really being deep on something. Like in a programming world, we're all using Cursor, which is basically VS Code. VS Code is Eric Gamma's fourth editor, right? Like it's like he spent his entire life making these things.
He's craftsmanship.
It's like he wrote the design patterns book that many of us read at some point, literally about programming text editors, right? Like, so it's like, sometimes you just need to dedicate a career to a field and get deeper into it than anyone else, and celebrate craftsmanship along the way, and kind of try to build the best thing.